Hello and welcome to the Pipaluk and Serafina podcast. My name is Serafina.
And my name is Pipaluk, and together we are the founders and creators of Magic is Key, an online educational platform, I suppose, an online temple that synthesizes in all our courses modern somatic practices. So you're familiar with that, I'm sure, moving emotions through the body, processing all the big life stuff with body sensations, and then think about the wonder and magic of childhood, the desire for rituals, for spells to be real. Well, the secret is, the not so secret is that these things are very much real, and you can find them all across the world. So we bring in this ancient ritual and divinatory magic and technology and mix it with the somatic practices for an epic way, honestly, truly epic way to navigate life. And you'll discover, because every single podcast episode, we talk about life, but we share how this work that we are teaching in our online temple, magiciskey.com, actually helps navigate some of the most challenging moments in life.
Precisely. And in each podcast, we tackle a current topic, and then you'll always find a practice at the end. Pipaluk will share something with us today as well. So today's topic is all about friendship breakups and to navigate that. And Pipaluk has a really powerful story and a really powerful journey, and it will lead us to 3 practices in the end that you can explore if a friendship breakup is something that you've experienced or something that you are maybe currently going through. And let's dive right in. What was that first pretty brutal friendship breakup that you had? Please share.
Well, I need to add context because I was really young, and I am who I am, which is someone who, I'm like more comfortable on my own. So I had this one friend for, it was like the first really conscious friend I had. And I made myself extremely vulnerable. In some ways, I probably gave away my power at a very young age because I allowed this friendship to be something I identified with. It was everything. And I suppose one of the things that played into it was that this person, I didn't speak, we moved countries, and we moved to Germany, and I didn't speak any German. And so there was just one person at the kindergarten I was at who I could speak with, because I spoke just American English at the time. And that might have played into it. I mean, those are just little factors, but I think most of all, why it was so hard when this person stopped speaking to me was because I'd poured everything into it. And not just like my heart and my soul, but most importantly, my storytelling, the story I told about my life. And I think this was emphasized by the fact that I am so, I always have been so into books. I started reading before reading, was being taught. I don't know if our mom taught me. And I remember just getting the book in first grade, and they said, well, don't read it at home because we're going to read, one page or chapter, whatever it was. We'll read it together. And I took the book home. I read the whole thing immediately. And then, of course, I was bored in class, which expressed itself in a whole other form of rebellion over time. But it was this, I think, this bookish nature, this lush inner world that I feel in general. Those of you listening, like if you're artists or if you're drawn to magic, often that goes hand in hand with having these inner worlds that overlay reality. And it's I think, what are the words? It's a boon and a bane. And the danger of it is that you place a reality upon your life that is not actually reflecting the truth. And I did this at a very young age. And that's what made the moment when we stopped hanging out and I didn't know the reasons so brutal, so traumatic, so dramatic on the inside that
what did it make you feel?
Like I had no value. In school terms, it was like, oh, I'm not cool enough. I'm not good enough. I can't hang out with cool people, like quote unquote, like whatever that means, cool people. This for me translated to people that hang out in groups and have fun in bigger groups, like beyond the one-on-one. I was like, I can't transition to that or be part of that. But I never felt I still, find it challenging to feel comfortable in these groups. So it was this idea of like also having to be someone else that I wasn't. I felt very alone. And I think a part of me, I know now looking back, I closed down a part of me as a result. And it took decades to open that up again, or to loosen that, relax that. Yeah.
So you had let me quickly. So you created the story in this world because you were, through reading books and being really into that at a young age, you created this idea, this world essentially, and your identity, and everything was so closely intertwined with this friend. And and it wasn't your choice to end the friendship. No. So it that just shattered your entire world, essentially.
Yes. That is such a brilliant way to put it. Yeah, my world fell apart.
And then this led, I know you didn't have the easiest time growing up in certain areas. So this led to complicated relationships afterward.
Yeah, I would say so. And
because
I think
it took you decades to repair, and I know you've repaired it, and it's beautiful, and we'll get to that later on, and how if you're listening, how you can do that as well. But how did it lead you on? Like, can you just share more about the relationships that followed and how that was hard?
Yeah. And I want to add also that at the time I didn't have a spiritual practice in the sense as part of my life. I mean, we grew up with affinity to the Catholic Church, as most people in Bavaria do. It's like this cozy tradition, not really.
Well, we got the Danish flair with it.
Oh yeah, the Danish flair, which is like, let's, every Catholic ceremony was like, okay, let's have fun and drinks and good food and presents. So that was at the forefront, yeah. So I didn't have anything like spirit, anything, that sense of I am more than or greater than in my life at that time. And these connections that happen as a result, where you're like, oh, there's always help, there's always support. So there was none of that at the time, which made it more traumatic. I didn't know how to rewrite my story or place myself. And so after that, I had friendships with people who were okay with not hanging out for maybe a month. Like, we would hang out intensively for maybe a weekend, and then we would not, we'd see each other in school, but then we would not hang out for like a month. So it was a precursor to what later in life, when I started university and studying, I didn't really make friends at the different places I studied in. Some, but nothing like in depth. And I think I preferred guy friends for a while because it felt safer. There were all these things where I tried to kind of find the opposite type of friend in some ways, subconsciously. that's part of it. And just overall, it just felt like, I don't know, like subconscious crazy town. If I look, I don't know if you remember my friendships. I mean, some were really beautiful, and some people I'm still in touch with. But overall, it was just like this, like whatever. I don't give a flying F about anything, and very intense people, sometimes unstable people, and it reflected my own intensity and instability. But
and then I could add to that because I know you.
Yeah, you know me.
You then also you sought out relationships. So
I sought out relationships.
Always in, as far as I know, you were almost always in some sort of
a serial monogamist.
Yeah. And relationships are not just romantic. They include a friendship. They include that kind of relationship as well. So
yeah. So yes. So once I became a teenager, the romantic relationships replaced also friendships.
Mm-hmm. And you also said that you did build some sort of friendships, and you didn't like, none of those you were afraid to have close ties again, someone who you couldn't trust.
Yeah. I mean, I did have one friend, and she, and we connected, I think, of just being introverted, and into libraries and like our own world. And she's definitely a special person. But other than that, from high school, I mean, there were two friends, two or three friends that I stayed in touch with, but it wasn't like this close, like, let's talk about everything. And there's this, like, I don't, this,
the stream friendship,
especially after high school ended, right? It didn't have this, like, I don't know, just this, I don't even know how to phrase it.
No, because we have this idea of a friendship. It's the same with this romantic relationship, and you have the prince and the way all of that works out. We have this fantasy, and then the same as with friends. And sometimes you see it with people who have incredibly close friendships, and then you long for that. You want that as well. But it's not.
And they were really close friendships. So it's just I was wounded the whole time, if that makes sense. Like I did have close friendships, but I just had this caution. And there were some, whenever I got into a friendship that somehow reflected in part some of that earlier friendship, I would break it off.
Yeah.
And the same with the relationships. When it got like to this really close level, the friendships that lasted were always the ones where there was a coming together and then a distance, and a coming together and then a distance. But the ones that were like coming together and staying together, those I would end up leaving just because I would find whatever reason. There were the stupidest reasons. Yeah.
So you just wanted to, that first friendship breakup led to you wanting to be in control and to be wounded again, essentially. Yeah.
And I didn't, like I said, I didn't have any of the magic. Like I hadn't learned any of the witchcraft, the magic, the shamanic practices or any like spirit practices that have this incredible power to support you from within through whatever's happening. So you not only get through it more effectively or faster at times, but you actually face the things sooner because you know how to. You face them not alone because you've got like this whole sense of like a whole team around you, and then you get through it. Like it's where you rewrite the story and you find empowerment. And I had none of that till my early 20s. So it was messy. Like, you know me, it was messy. It caused family messiness too.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I'm glad things have changed.
Yeah.
So what was the turning point? Because you had one more situation that really was a big F. I'm not even sure if I can say that. Which was
FS.
A big FS.
A big FS. Yeah, so, I mean, well, now that you say it this way, and I guess that's not... I didn't write about this part, but one turning point was there was this book I read from Fiocchi Parma, and it was called Spirited. and I would read it secretly on the bus. And I had a boyfriend at the time who like was just one of the most wonderful guys. I was still like so sorry I ever hurt this guy. And I was like, there was a course at the end, shamanic witchcraft apprenticeship. And I'm like there, like, can I take this? Like, this is no, like, oh, but I want to, but like, but you pay for like learning witchcraft, is that not a splurge? I talked to Mom about it too, I think. Who was like, that's a lot of money. I think it wasn't at the time, it was like just, it was like $45 an hour or something. It was like compared to now. And that boyfriend really supported me in taking that course, which created everything. Like it was the starting point. It's not that everything became good after that, but like you mentioned, I ended up in a very, I would say abusive. I can't say it like I was not part of it at all, but generally, this was.
I feel like that's a female view on things.
Thing.
We always say, oh yeah, there's two people to it, and oh, it wasn't that bad, or we find all these excuses.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was an abusive relationship, and I have to say I never experienced. I've had a lot of relationships because of the serial monogamy. Like, I don't know if I've had 10 or something, and dedicated ones, like 4 years, 4.5 years, 5 years, like really dedicated long-term relationships. And I never was with a man who was abusive before that or since then. So yes, this was an abusive man who had been really abused, also in childhood, like this. But that's all the big villains. And if you are into stories and cinema, all the villains always have this horrible origin story. And it's like there's that turning point of where all this trauma and hurt becomes something that then hurts others or transforms into something that helps others. And so this was someone where all of it transformed into something that hurts others, as harmful. Yeah, and once I, with the help of a girlfriend, that was like when this girlfriend, I can have safe female friends, had healed within. Like, she helped me get out. I was probably not going to get out, not on my own. And she came and she lived with me when he was gone for a week. She lived with me, and we were close. And she was like, Pipaluk, this is, and people had told me before, but I didn't hear it. So she was like the right person at the right time saying, this is not, like, you need to get out, like, save yourself, protect yourself. And so with her there, I did.
Sounds like a wonderful circle of, the friendship where the girlfriend left you.
Yeah.
Hurt you, and when you needed it most, you had this wonderful person come into your life, and
we were able to help each other, like, in big ways. For 2 or 3 years, it was like we were connected to help each other in big ways. So it was a really special time. And then when that ended, this guy called everyone in our community, like anyone and everyone that we knew that he had the number of or the contact of, got a call or a message saying, don't ever talk to Pipaluk again, or I will never talk to you again. And
it sounds crazy, and you would think that people wouldn't, like,
some people
go in on that,
but most people did.
Which is, I think that's crazy.
Most people did. And these were people I'd hosted, I'd cooked food for, they'd slept at my place, I'd taken them into my home,
and you did consider some of them for sure friends. Yeah,
some were felt like best friends. Yeah. There were 2 or 3 that were like, oh, I'm really, really close with these people. And they we made art together, and so that was really, it was like, and they also had all this like that they loved my dogs so much. And they never, like, not even, the dogs were also sad that from one day to the next, suddenly nobody visited anymore. And the dogs felt my sadness, but I think they were also sad to lose so many people in their lives. But I had magic at that point. I had ritual. I had friends who are witches and spirit workers and tantrikas and yoginis who knew all about transforming the literal shit into gold. And they really helped me through it. Yeah.
So let's get to the good bits.
So these are the
it was rough.
It was so rough.
Some really hard times.
It sucked. Yeah. So and the beautiful thing was also I was more conscious of what was happening. So I had this massive sense of grief and trauma, and I was like, okay, I'd stopped smoking weed for I don't know how long. Like it'd been years and years.
Yeah.
And so I rolled the tiniest of little joints, and then maybe I didn't smoke a lot, but just a little bit, and then and I allowed myself to do that. And I was like, this is just going to be this short period. It ended up being around 3 months.
Yeah. This is the first step then.
And I would put so I'm medicated,
No, that's not the tip. The tip is you're allowed to grieve.
You're allowed to grieve.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs, but
drugs
grieve.
Are not your friend.
But this came from discernment. So let me put that in there. Like, this was not from a place of addiction. It was like discernment. It's like having, I also don't drink any alcohol, but sometimes I'll be like, now I'll have a glass of wine. Actually, I'll have 2 and be a little tipsy. It was that, I need this, this little extra help to step out of myself. It was very, very conscious.
Question. Did you take time to grieve? I mean, you were very young when you lost that first friendship.
I didn't know how to.
Yeah.
I mean, I grieved, but I didn't know how to make it give it a container. So this also I learned from studying witchcraft, from studying occult mysteries, from studying mystery traditions, magic with a CK at the end. Like, I intensely studied spirituality in its most magical forms for years leading up to this, and it made it my work also. It was part of my work. And this also with somatic practices. And the coaching I studied, the sex, love, and relationship coaching, which had a lot of somatic and self-love practices in it. So I'd been taking clients through it for years. And then when the time came for me, it was like, okay, I would lie on the couch for days, and I would have Star Trek Discovery on and call my agent in French, though, not dubbed, in French with subtitles. And I would just kind of doze in and out with that. And I would be on the phone with people Australia, West Coast US, like for 3 hours at a time. And they would hold me through tears. They would read cards for me. I let myself ask the dumbest questions. There are no dumb questions, but I don't know, along the lines of where I would recommend a client never ask a question, will I ever find love again? Because you're giving all your power away. It's like, how will I find love again? I was asking, will I ever find love again? Along those lines. It wasn't that exact question, and I let myself have at it. And there was this container of full permission. And then I also worked with ritual. So I had a ritual with a literal iron witch cauldron where everything that was still left in the house from this relationship, I put in this cauldron with a candle, and I burnt it and it created this crazy smoke. And then I put that in the room where he'd spent the most time in, and it like smoked it out. And I'm still surprised nobody called the fire brigade. And then we threw that cauldron in the middle of the night into a canal. And so I had these processes, because
You
it's
also
not
had a
really
friend come over, a witch friend, I think, who cleansed the apartment with you, like fully.
Yes. Yeah. Two, actually. Yeah. Two of them. So there were all these, and the thing is, it's not really about the what, like this is a very witchy expression, but it's about having like a process that is physical, because that gets into the body. So like a physical, like a heavy cauldron. Try carrying a 7-kilogram cauldron like through the city in the middle of the night, like what that does to you subconsciously in terms of exfumigating some bad energies in your home. Like if you've experienced something really intense in your home and you need to get that out, like having some container and like putting it all in and make like, so it's physical, then your subconscious becomes engaged. There's smoke, you smell, you can like taste it in the air, you see it, you hear it. There's one sense, you feel it. Yeah. Like, so all your senses are activated. So then you're doing these processes that have an effect on every part of your being, like all the souls, all your souls, all your ways of being in the world, like subconscious, unconscious, conscious mind, thinking mind, instinct, gut, heart, like everything's. I'm getting into a passion here, like, because seriously, like everyone could benefit from this. What something happens to you, make a container where you can, be really low, like call in sick if you can, or in the weekends, like don't move and just let be in it. And then learn a way or ask for help or look online. I mean, there's so many onlines, like how to get rid of an ex's energy, like, and just do the thing, like gather, I don't know, some herbs and rosemary and like a necklace he gave you, and like, and burn it or whatever, and stay safe, of course. And then when you want to invite love in, well, like that's what also we did. We went out in the pouring rain again at midnight and gathered roses, growing across Amsterdam, like pouring rain. And we met the happiest drunk ladies. And so this was then the spell to call in pure and innocent love, like, and then I met the father of my children, so this is how magic transmutes. And eventually, it only, because this is like, it's really sucks when a whole community disappears for something where you're like, like, how can they even share that value or give into something like that? Like, and never even ask, like secretly, what would stop anyone from reaching out to me and saying, hey, are you okay? And not telling this person,
it's crazy.
What? That was so weird. So it was like, I surrounded myself with people where I wasn't even aware that we don't share one of the most important values I have, which is to be there for others and to help others. So that was also like, whoa. Yeah.
All right. So when you have any kind of friendship or partnership, now we've gone into the partnership thing. When you have any kind of breakup, it's great to grieve and to let it simmer and then move it out in whatever way you can. But you have one tip for all of us that anyone can do in this kind of situation. At the end, maybe you need to probably be ready for it, but
it's the sparkle one, right?
No.
The stardust one. The blessing one. The blessing one. Well, we have three.
Yeah. But don't get it mixed up. Don't go too deep back into, if you want to hear about love, if you're listening to this podcast, go to the last one. Sticking to the friendship.
I mean, this is about friendship, and it's about how you wrap up, because, in this, I wrapped up friendship with, and there were all the friends around. So they're still in the friendship zone. But this was from, I think it was the one time I consciously heard about it when I honor Rachel Rosito. She was like, if you bless someone, you can't curse them. And I started practicing that a couple of years ago. And it's so effective. It's also when you like, it's with friends, but also if you have a kind of run-in with someone in the street, that can be intense. Any kind of like emotion where you get angry, you're like, I've been hurt. What's going on? Like, and it stays. That feeling where it stays, and that it happens with friends too, because you're, close, is to just bless them when something like that happens. And really from the heart, like wish them all the best. And it's not about saying certain behavior is okay and I shouldn't protect myself from it. It's not at all about that. It's not about being like, giving the like a bad person good stuff. Also not about that. It's about two things. One is how it feels in your body to bless someone versus cursing them. It's like it gives you an empowerment to hope they heal, or to hope they to just wish them well. May they be well. Whoever hurt someone when they were whole, well, and healed. It does happen. Best of intentions, you can still mess up, but then you make amends. But whoever hurt someone and didn't make amends, in a state of wholeness and well-being. So you wish for that because it's good for the world, and it feels good to do that. And it takes some practice to do that from the heart. But it's so worth it.
Yeah. And you can just do that. You can do that whenever. You can just say it out loud. You can say it in your head. You have to feel it. You can light a candle. You can also write
visualize them. Yeah.
Throw it in a river if you're putting it
on. Degradable. I love that.
Just put it out into the world. All the different ways to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Then we've got one more tip, which I think is super important, is that to have solid friendships, because what you said in the beginning is maybe also, I don't know if that happens when you're an adult as much as identifying yourself with a friend, or with a partner, or anybody else, or a story you tell yourself, to find confidence from within.
Yeah. The confidence needs to come from within, and it can help to remember who we really are. Like, we have this story, I'm this human person. My name's Pipaluk. I do this work. Oh my God, I'm like tired whenever I wake up. I'm not a morning person. This I am story. I am this, I am that, I value this, I value that. But then if you think about it, the atoms in our body, the carbon, like all the atoms, all the elements that make us up came from the stars. Like there's another reality going on. And then if you think like, this body is made up from the stuff of stars, like who can look at a clear night sky and not be like, whoa, wonder, shooting stars, galaxies, like, you see the Milky Way, like this is us. This is literally us. So looking at yourself like, ooh, wow, like, my hair, my tears, like even my grief is from the stars. Like, it's like, wow. And then turning also, this is then a mental thing. I'm getting so happy just talking about all this. I'm like, wow, and like, even when I think about the story, it's like, it all came from the stars. When Michael Singer talks about this too, like every single moment your experience came from the stars. Like, whoa. And then also the line of inquiry, I think, is so vital.
Yeah, but before we go into that, I think it's just crucial to know yourself, to have really solid friendships, to have good friendships, and to be okay with who you are, because we're all going to make mistakes. And it's also about then choosing your friends. I have friends where I found out later I said some really stupid things. Sometimes you don't even notice in the moment. But to be able to have friends that accept you that way, or to maybe also accept that you're not flawless. And and I think I do quickly, I think it is a good spot, because we do have this really wonderful course where you strip all your layers, or journey into your essence, right? So you strip yourself of everything that you've created around yourself, all like the things you own and like everything you've built. Especially when we're older, we take on all these things, like and to just strip that away.
Your relationships. We also, in the course, we strip away the relationships and journey to your essence.
We strip away everything, and it kind of brings you back to who are you really? Like who are you? And then if you know who you are and you're okay with who you are and what you love and what you do, then it's much easier to build solid friendships on that.
Yes, and that's why we also put Journey to Your Essence. It's in a bundle called the Navigator's Kit, and the other courses in a work of desire. And so once you've done the discovering your truth through also journaling and meditation, but also a ritual process, like underneath all these layers, then you get to look at your desire. Like, I desire a friendship. You might already have that friendship, but not even know. Like, I desire a friendship where I can relate and feel safe, and I can mess up and make amends and all that. Like, I desire to feel safe and held and joyful in a friendship. And then in the inner work of desire, you work with these types of desires, authentic desires, and you feel where in your body there's resistance, where there's still like either some things that are holding on, or saying like, oh no, a happy friendship, that's not safe. Like, and then you learn how to work with that through breathing, like very effective somatic processes. So you open the way within to experience these types of friendships or any desires in real life, any authentic desires. So ones that come from your essence. So they really work together, and it's just $27 while it lasts. We decided like we'll make a limited offer where it's just like the courses like that, a bundle like that is like $250, $300 online. And we're like, no, let's make this available for a short time. So it's $27 while it lasts.
All right, let's get into the final, piece of wisdom that you learned on your journey, which is about letting go of expectations.
Yeah, it's letting go of expectations. So, and here I have to thank. It's like some of my dearest friends, LGBTQ plus, and they have taught me, all the ways in which relationships can manifest. Not all the ways, but like many ways. This is coming from conservative Southern German suburbia to like queer California, and or LGBTQ plus in California, living in California, existing, traveling, and it was like, oh, you can. There's so many ways to express relationships. So if you are someone who, like me, likes to get really close, but then take some personal space, or like prefers one-on-one, like that's okay. And just being very real, like also with seeing the other person for who they are, and seeing the stardust in them, the awe and wonder, and just letting things be. Instead of, I always had this urge to kind of like also go fast when I was younger, like, get it before it's gone and then push it away before it hurts me kind of vibe. And now it's because I feel so secure in myself. There's time, there's patience, there's openness, and beauty, just seeing the beauty in everyone. And when something gets really hard, like there's attention, there's something not good going on, instead of jumping into the emotions which come inadvertently, as to also find a line of inquiry, like what can I learn? And that immediately gets the mind busy on another level and places the emotions in a different context, from whence we can grow. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing so openly and vulnerably. It was really beautiful. And I mean, you've had a big journey, and you're in a really, really good place now. And would you say you would attribute that to all the magic and everything that you've learned?
Yeah, 100%. I'm in a good place most days. Let's be real. Not every day.
But you have wonderful friends, you have a
Yeah.
wonderful partner, you have the kids, you have the dog, and of course life has ups and downs, but
Yeah, a wonderful community with so many good friends all around me. And I know when things get hard, I know what to do.
and you're close with family again.
And I'm really
Which you
close with
weren't
family again. Yeah.
always.
Yeah. I know how to transmute and transform.
So when things do get hard again, when you face challenges, you know how to work through them.
Yeah.
You don't always
And
do it right away because it's
practice.
hard, but
Yeah.
so-
Yeah. But it's a consistent practice. I mean, we've had it also in our interactions, because you're also, we'll hear your story one of these days, I'm sure, but you're also into just constantly learning and growing and practicing in your ways. And so I show up to in my case, it's like my spiritual, my somatic, my shamanic, witchy practices. I show up to them, and sometimes they're here like all the time. Even as I talk, there's like a part of my consciousness that is doing magic, and that helps. That each time then we enter into something like a conflict, we get better at it, better at orienting to love again and peace and harmony. Yeah.
All right, wonderful. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you to all of the listeners. If you want to learn more about magic and how you can change your life with it, and then check out magiciskey.com. You can find everything that we do there. And check out our course if you want to start dabbling in it and see how it can change things for the better.
I can change your life, yeah. In big ways. Don't underestimate it.
Yeah, it's true.
It's if you go fully into the Navigator's Kit, it will have a big effect, a tangible effect on your life that is beautiful and good and wonderful and awe-inspiring.
All right, see you next week.
Bye-bye. See you soon.
Bye.